What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have an amazing news. I think we have some evidence that potentially next bridge hydrocarbons already have all the trading data and they have it from the very beginning of this saga. Unfortunately, we don't have direct evidence of this, but definitely this information might be very important. On top of that, I will show you that Gary Gensler is still trying to kick this scam down the road for as long as possible, and we still don't have any response from him, despite the fact that the deadline expired 2 days ago. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my video is valuable for the community. So, let's start with this news. You know that on June 15th it was a deadline for Gary Gensler to make a response to Ralph Norman and Pete Sessions' letter that they wrote on June the 5th. And I have to say that we don't have any update from Ralph Norman himself. This means he hasn't received this response, and definitely we were expecting this type of behavior from Gary Gensler because he answered to the previous letter that was written by Ralph Norman's office and that was signed by 75 Congress members. He responded to this letter with a 6 days delay. So it is what it is. I think it is the nature of Gary Gensler to do everything late if it ever happens. And that is why, guys, we still have to wait, I think, for a little bit longer, because Ralph Norman will definitely make an update in upcoming days. And I think Gary Gensler also might give us his response in regards to this case. So, let's move forward and let me show you this tweet that was written by Christian Shaughnessy. We know that Devin Nunes and his company DJT is tied up together with the MMTLP case. We know that in one of the first letters that was written, let me show you right here, that was written by Devin Nunes and that was addressed to 4 major chairmen of committees of US House of Representatives. And as you can see, it was written on April 24th of this year with the attachment of the letter that was signed by 74 Congress members. That is why this case is tied up very closely with our case. And this means we have to keep an eye on this case as well. And let me show you what did Christian Shaughnessy write. This is a must read, the irony. Devin Nunes is fighting illegal short selling in DJT, and the hedge funds he's fighting against are purposely using the 5th US Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans and relying on the Trump appointees considered sympathetic to hedge funds. If Nunes only gets a resolution for Truth Social, retail investors should take note. And here's the direct quotation. The most powerful weapon that hedge funds have against regulators like Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler is no longer white shoe lawyers or silver-tongued lobbyists. It's an address in Texas. The National Association of Private Fund Managers, a little-known group whose main focus appears to be challenging SEC rules, has sat tucked in Fort Worth Law Office since its founding in 2022. Its home is 1,500 miles away from many hedge funds campuses in leafy Connecticut and even further from London or Singapore, where its impact is being felt. But the association's address at 301 Commerce Street in Texas' 5th biggest city is serving a greater purpose. NAP-FM, the clunky acronym of association, goes by, is giving hedge fund and private equity titans access to what's quickly become one of the financial world's most important venues, the 5th US Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans. The March court filings in the group's lawsuit against the SEC over its short selling disclosure rule different from the case decided this month. Identify Simon Lorne, a senior advisor at Millennium and its former chief legal officer, as president of NAPFM. Isaac Haas, general counsel of HBK, is also named as the group's secretary. Both Millennium and HBK were described as members. HBK has a Dallas office, but NAPFM has noted in court filings that it filed suit in the Fifth Circuit because of the group's location. NAPFM, along with out-of-town groups as co-plaintiffs, is also trying to persuade courts in the circuit to toss out SEC rules, forcing hedge funds to disclose short-selling activities and subject high-speed trades to more oversight. The SEC is also facing a legal challenge at an appellate court in Atlanta over a massive database to keep better tabs on stock trading. Business groups and Republican-led states also force the SEC to put on ice new rules requiring corporations to disclose more about their pollution, another cornerstone of the chair's agenda. So guys, Kristen Shaughnessy refers to the article that was published by Bloomberg just recently on June 16, as you can see, just yesterday. And I have to admit that it is quite interesting update why in the world they are trying to file a lawsuit in the Fifth US Circuit Court of Appeals. And I think it might also be quite interesting and it might be quite ironic that this court is relying on the Trump appointees. So, again, we have to wait for this resolution as well. And for now, as you can see, how tricky the relationships are. And I think we have to patiently wait for the resolution on this case as well. But for now, let me show you this tweet, and I have to admit that it is the crucial point of today's video. And in general, I have to say that potentially NextBridge Hydrocarbons and C-levels executives like George Palikaras and John Brda knew about the data that was stored in NextBridge Hydrocarbons in regards to the MMTLP shares. And let me show you what Danielle Spears wrote. She wrote MMAT, MMTLP, Trader Zero, George Palikaras, and the owner of Share Intel all said the exact same thing, that NextBridge Hydrocarbons 100% had the entire trading data the day after the halt, including short positions. So guys, how cool this statement is. They all agreed that if I wanted the trading data, I had to ask MMAT or NextBridge Hydrocarbons. If it turns out that NextBridge Hydrocarbons has held that data for a year and a half, this community is going to be pissed. How do we find out if NextBridge Hydrocarbons has the data and or the count? And guys, let me show you some responses. Gandalf wrote this 9 hours ago, if anyone had that specific data, it would be MMAT, not NextBridge Hydrocarbons in my opinion. Why would NextBridge Hydrocarbons have trade data on MMTLP when the issuer is Meta? And let me show you that John Brda, in response to this tweet that was written by Gandalf, wrote this. Correct. And at that time, MMAT did not have any data either. Not sure they do now. Share Intel was getting no cooperation from any of their traditional sources. So, quite interesting statement as well. Let's get back to the original tweet and let me show you what did Trader Zero write. He said, I have to draft letters to Jersey 52799. One to send to NextBridge Hydrocarbons and one to Equinity/AST. If you can get a bunch of people to send them and put pressure on both, including the media, they will be forced to do it. Problem is a bunch of people in the community don't want to believe that the company and Brda have been lying to them, so that group of brainwashed people won't do it. Guys, again, it is quite a bold and brave statement, I have to say. And if John Brda is one of the wrongdoers, and I have to say that in general, MMTLP community should not rely on any allies. We have to find the truth. And in my opinion, if John Brda is involved in this activity, his activity has to be exposed. And that's it. We know that he lied at least once when he stated that he didn't sell any shares of MMTLP. At the same time, he sold some of his shares, and he knew about this and he lied intentionally. So I think we have to investigate this case as well. But let me quote you further. 9 hours ago, in response to this tweet, Sam IM wrote this. I'll do it. Just be careful if you don't want to be doxed. They working hard to get info on disgruntled shareholders from congressional representatives. Know firsthand, and would not dismiss sharing OIR info. Brda is publicly validating share counts and names from 2022 Noble list. And Trader Zero also wrote this. I love how Brda reveals information over time that contradicts what has been said in the past. He can't stop talking, so the more times goes by, the more his BS catches up with him. He just said that NBH hydrocarbons and MMAT didn't have access to data, yet he is referencing the Noble list from MMTLP. Again, quite interesting discovery. Jennifer wrote this. I'm in. I did one last week with the help of Sam IM's post and sent it to IR and NBH hydrocarbons, and they have not responded. Willing to try again for sure, and help is appreciated. Thank you so much. And guys, definitely it is not so pleasant information for MMTLP community, because we were sure that John Brda was and is on our side. But these facts, definitely, first of all, these facts needs to be confirmed, but at the same time, these facts exposes a lot of activity inside MMTLP community that is not so pleasant for MMTLP community itself. On top of that, let me show you in response to the same tweet, Sam IM wrote this. The tweet that was published by Daniel Spears. So, 100% NBH hydrocarbons just sits on sidelines, adding confusion, ST allotments, DTC sheets and anything. Filing months late, no update on ST transfers, no transparency on FINRA comms, no info on petition. Stop kissing Maccabe's butt and demand answers. So guys, I think yes, what do we have on the table right now? We have lack of information from George McCabe, and we have basically lack of information from NBH hydrocarbons itself. We have a lot of due diligence from, let me show you, from Rare DD, and he's done very good updates, and basically he does it on consistent basis. At the same time, guys, Trader Zero, Sam IM, and Roman Soups, they are also MMTLP shareholders, but their point of view is quite opposite to the point of view of the majority of MMTLP community. That is why not so many people like their opinion, but we have to keep this opinion in mind. And Roman Soups 6 hours ago wrote this in response to these two tweets. He wrote, MMTLP, no doubt NBH hydrocarbons has the share intel data for MMTLP, but the doubt is, are they going to do anything with it? After 18 months of nothing, hard to expect them to suddenly take action. When FINRA meeting, when oil, when QSIP, when anything. And yes, if it is the reality, if NBH hydrocarbons have this data for months, I think they will still have the same strategy, and they prefer to hide this information. But guys, how we can reveal this information? Definitely it will be the potential, it might be the help of members of Congress. On top of that, we have several subpoenas that were filed just recently by Mark Basil and his company in regards to the RICO lawsuit that they made basically, I guess, 3 weeks ago. And these two paths might lead us to this resolution, and it might lead us to more additional info that might definitely help us to solve this problem. So yes, I think this information is not so pleasant for MMTLP community, but we have to be unbiased, and we have to know all the points of view that potentially might lead us to the resolution. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag.